Hello everyone, my name is Soulskeeper, and today I will show to you 10 new demos for survival horror games. At the end of the video, there will be my top 10 based on my preferences. I will show to you the most interesting parts from each game, all the gameplay, editing, and the entire video is made by me. I will also provide as much information as I can in 1 minute for each game. No more, no less. I almost forgot. Don't forget to wishlist these amazing games on Steam to support the developers because they deserve it. But enough talking, let's just start the video. The first game is called SSR Wives, The Murder of My Winter Crush. And if you want to see the full demo gameplay, I will have a link in the description that directs you to it. It's an upcoming retro survival horror experience that takes inspiration from iconic staples of the genre with the charming narrative intrigue of a sound novel. Atmospheric exploration, challenging puzzles, and horrifying combat encounters await. The player will encounter various characters with whom they can interact and build relationships. Players must make dialogue choices that impact their relationships and navigate through personal quests that reveal more about each character's backstory. As relationships deepen, the player can potentially find love, but the player must also balance their emotional connections with the need to survive. This game is simply amazing. I love all it has to offer. From all of these games, this is the one that I enjoyed the most. The next game is called Silly Polybeast and is an otherworldly, story-driven shooter with aggressive gunfights and terrifying monsters awaits you. This is the story of a girl who, by the will of fate, faced the beast, and in order to become free, she was forced to study its nature. How far can you go in the fight for your freedom? You'll encounter denizens of the otherworldly realm, not all of which are against you, but none of whom are on your side. No matter how events unfold, never forget the pledge and pact you took that plunged you into this abyss. Prepare for a unique gameplay experience, blending world exploration with battles from both side and top-down perspectives. Ancient forbidden knowledge will bolster your strength. With each new spell mastered, Polly's power grows deadlier. Explore eerie realms, confront haunting figures from Polly's past, and master forbidden spells in a fight for freedom. Will you escape, or will the demon claim you first? This is actually a very polished game. I did not find a single bug or a mechanic that did not work. The graphics are astonishing, the game runs smooth, the protagonist movement feels fast and super responsive. I hope this game will be more story-focused than combat, because killing these shadowy things can become a little repetitive. I felt this way during my playthrough. The portraits of the characters when they speak are so well done. They look amazing, like a comic book. I also like the camera perspective movement to fresh up a bit the gameplay, going from top-down view to the side or even to the protagonist shoulder perspective. The next game is called Scarlet Lake, and with this one I also have a full playthrough video. If you want to see the full demo, you have a link in the description. Delve into a retro survival horror where everything is not what it seems. You control Ben Murphy, a detective sent to investigate the strange ongoings in a small town, only to be caught in a nightmare surrounded by terrifying creatures. What dark mysteries will you uncover in Scarlet Lake? After his missing wife sends a message to come to the town of Scarlet Lake, Ben Murphy begins to believe that something sinister is going on. Taking it upon himself to find out the truth, he heads for the town, but nothing can prepare him for what he is about to find. Scarlet Lake is a small town on Mercy Island, known by the locals for being under restrictions by the government, while ongoing tests are carried out within the town's walls. Only authorized personnel may enter. A psychological survival horror game set in an eerie, isolated 90s Polish town, consumed by an ominous presence. You've come looking for answers, but everyone seems possessed by something foul. Explore the festering town, interrogate locals, and fight ungodly manifestations to get to the truth. Scavenge for scarce supplies and weapons to fight off the twisted monstrosities now roaming the darkest corners of the town. You're no hero, but your will to live is still strong enough to get through this living nightmare. The custom in-house technology allows the developers to bring a new spin on the pixel look. Hand-drawn pixel art environments now brought to life with dynamic lighting and camera rotation, letting you explore the world from 8 different angles. The single part that I don't like about this game is the fact that it has no English. The characters are speaking in Polish, but except this, the game has no flaws. Can't wait for this game to release. I will do a full playthrough video in that same day. The city level of detail is amazing. Pixel graphics are one of the best out there. These zombies are actually pretty scary. Vulture's Scavengers of Death described itself as a tactical turn-based survival horror. The story focuses around the survivors of the apocalypse that named themselves the Vultures. They goes from city to another in the search of a cure for that damn disease. Out there, life can be harsh. For survival, the Vultures must scavenge materials, resources, supplies, but won't be easy. Danger lurks in every corner. Choose your agent, each with their own combat styles, and customize their loadout before entering a mission. Once inside, choose your tactics carefully. You may not want to engage in every battle. Sneaking can be a viable option. But when you do engage, you must rely on your tactical training and turn-based combat. Aim for vital spots or disable opponents to slow them down. Use any method to get out alive with the target. I.O. Setter is a survival horror game set in space. To be more specific, on a foreign planet with no inhabitants. You will explore abandoned facilities in the search of artifacts and goods for you to sell on the black market. This game, as it is now, has the gameplay focused on physics-related puzzles. You have a special tool that can lift any object. It is like the one in Half-Life 2 or Dead Space. You will use this to defend yourself. You cannot shoot, but you will lift crates and launch them into enemies. The game graphics are trying to achieve realism. It is not there yet, but surely on the right path. The animations are a little rough around the edges, but they are doing their job fine enough. The two things that are stealing away a good experience, at least for me, is the combat and the optimization. When I launch a crate into the enemy, there is no impact. I feel like I do no damage to the enemy, and beside that, my movement is very clunky and the physics are not that great. I played with below 60 frames per second, even if I have RTX 4070. The third game is called Be Croned, a surreal survival horror set in a world where fears come alive and danger lurks at every turn. Explore the ruins of an ancient kingdom, fight monsters, and try to survive in this brutal world. Will you become its savior, or will you seek to destroy it? The choice is yours. I made the mistake to play this game on a keyboard and was an awful experience. All the games from this video are played this way, but here was almost unplayable. The movement was unresponsive, and this stole from me the joy to keep playing. I can praise the game for its visuals. They are very good. Another thing that was not for me, maybe others will find these things fun, are the jump scares. They did not scare me in particular, but the noise is so high that made my ears hurt. The combat feels grounded and you can feel the impact of your knife, but some dismemberment would be nice to be added in the future. Next game is called Bleak Haven, a cinematic survival horror where faith is twisted, every shot matters, and survival hangs on what you can build. Explore haunted ruins, abandoned villages, and face a cult, preparing the world for a god no one should ever witness. I was quite impressed by the optimization this game has. It is a stable experience, but every now and then a lag spike happens, but it is not a game breaker thing. Usually the indie games made in Unreal Engine have terrible FPS stability, but this indie dev might seem to know what he is doing. Maybe this demo has okay FPS because of the awful textures, some objects, rocks. Even the enemies have a very low texture, feels like the world is made with plastic. The animations and cutscenes are well made, movement feels smooth, and the enemy's dismemberment system is fun and very gory. The weakest part of this demo is the handgun is unresponsive, no recoil whatsoever, there is no impact. Very unfun to use, but the melee combat is good. Could be improved. Maybe with a dodge or a faster block because the one that is here is very slow and I get hit all the time. And now something about the story. Tyler is the protagonist and he receives a sudden location from his missing brother's phone. It leads him to a remote, fog-covered island. He thought he came to rescue. Instead, he walked into a nightmare. On the island, you will find out that your private investigator also succeeded to track down the location of your brother, but the horrors of that place was too much for him, and he ended up dead. You take his gun and equipment, and you start looking for your little brother. Next game is Sangra, and this is classic survival horror with a modern feel. Solve puzzles, search for items, manage your inventory, and pray you'll return to the safe room alive in this decaying, twisted facility consumed by a mysterious metallic corruption. This game is mega undercooked. The only thing that is flash out nicely is the handgun. Feels great to use it, and satisfying when an enemy falls to the ground, and the white blood or what is that stuff spreads everywhere. The graphics are bad. I understand a graphic style and I love some pixelated games, but what we have here is just ugly. With a tight inventory and limited resources, every moment in the game is a difficult choice. Use keys, codes, and logic to solve puzzles that respect the player's intelligence. Traverse wisely through a maze of doors and claustrophobic corridors, through a tightly crafted interconnected map in a Metroidvania style. For the next game that is called Greek Tragedy, I also have a full playthrough video on my channel with the demo. You must watch it. I have a link in the video description. This game is a retro-styled indie survival horror game with puzzle elements. Help Amy keep her life on the college campus overrun by cultists, and maybe save her relationship in the process. Uncover conspiracies, sabotage occult rituals, and run for your life. Nostalgic Swan aesthetics included. Investigate the conspiracy and uncover secrets behind a recent wave of disappearances. Rescue Kurt and expose the truth behind it all, or get the hell out as quickly as possible. You've still got student loans to pay after all. This is my top 10. Please write in the commentary section what you think about these games, and also share there your personal top 10 games from these videos. If you have an indie survival horror recommendation, feel free to say it to me.